scenarios and business complexities. Here we will not just explain you the commands but how to use them in the real-time scenarios. You can see on the slide some of the basic business modules in SAP which will be used to run a business from end to end. For example, like in a manufacturing company, which has their business all over the world, and catering to the basic needs of most number of people around the globe, like in retail industry, imagine the volume of data ERP systems must handle, and number of people and processes are involved, so that each and every need of the stakeholders as well as the customers are fulfilled. People involved with procurement of raw material, manufacturing of goods, material management, quality management, warehouse management, sales and distribution, finance and control etc. need to work in coordination to have the enterprise functioning smoothly. This is possible only when an effective ERP system is in place, making the work life of people involved simpler. All the processes involved are generally mapped, but for customizing the ERP to suit to the needs of any enterprise. Role of a technical consultant comes in here, as the SAP product is generic to any business scenario when purchased, and that needs to be customized to fit into the scope of business scenario of the clients. This sometimes also needs developing customized objects like reports, data migration tools, custom screens, workflows etc. For this one needs to be familiar with all the objects of ABAP. Let me take you through the overview of ABAP in the following slides. In the previous slides we have discussed that there is a workbench where ABAP code is written and executed. Different types of programs exist like reports, include, function pool, module pool, etc. So based on the requirement we will create programs which are directly executable and sometimes triggered by calling through a different program. Again, custom transaction codes can be created for the executable screen programs starting with Z. Transaction codes are used to navigate to the relevant objects in graphical user interface in SAP by feeding in transaction codes in the input section. System will directly route to the particular object. For example, to create a sales order, the standard transaction code V01 is used, and SE38 for ABAP editor. Similarly, we can create a custom transaction codes for our own objects. In addition to these, there are specific tools like Screen Painter, Menu Painter, Function Builder which can be used to enhance the screen interaction, making them user-friendly. In the Screen Painter we can drag and drop the events like buttons, input box, test box etc. In Menu Painter we can create interactive screen menu using code in the background. Transport Management System is the version control which is used to create versions for your code changes. Transport Request is used to transport your changes from development to quality and finally to production systems. SAP does not allow any changes to the program once the transport request is released from development system, until you create a new request for the particular program. This is how version control is implemented in SAP. We may cover each of the discussed areas of SAP in detail further in the course. SAP is built over three-tier architecture. It can be seen as N-tier also in most of the cases. However, it is generally a three-tier architecture. We have database server in first level, application server in the second level, and presentation server in the third level. If in case we have more number of presentation or application or database servers at any level, it leads to N-tier architecture. Generally, the ABAP programs in SAP system accessed through graphical user interface are compiled and executed over application server, which in turn passes over the data processing tasks to database server. All the database-related commands are executed over database servers. Based on the load over these systems, they are scaled on the concept of load balancing. As discussed in earlier slides, ABAP has different types of objects. We have different kind of reports to analyze the data pertaining to enterprise, ABAP dictionary for the data modeling tasks like creation of custom database tables, domains, etc. Objects like function modules are useful to build robust code, at the same time Screen and Menu Painter to design custom screens. Apart from these, SAP offers code debugging and trace tools over ABAP Workbench. We also have Transport Organizer for effective version management. We would be using the following development classes, programs while working over different types of objects we discussed in the last slide. Particularly when working over custom objects, we reuse the components defined in the development classes. Any system cannot by itself be complete. In many occasions these systems are required to communicate with either internal or external third-party systems. Data transfer between these systems frequently keep each other updated. This is achieved using interfaces, and SAP interfaces are nothing but an interaction between systems for data transfer. There are different types of data transfers: direct transfer from graphical user interface, using datasets, using XI, using RFC, BAPIs, IDUX, etc. In all these types there are data filters which will make the companies so secured by achieving data privacy. Security authorizations help in taking care of the data over the systems. We can discuss more on these in the regular session.